Hey guys, today we're going to talk about another role I like to play when playing Aftermath solo. That's the role of the flanker, and I want to talk about some of the different strategies I use, depending on what the defense is doing, to do everything I can to try and get that victory. Hey guys, how's it going? Kulprit here, and today I wanted to talk about another style that I enjoy playing when I'm playing solo and I'm not without a squad. I did one of these last week. I talked about the kind of the Overwatch, more passive approach, and you guys seem to really kind of enjoy that, and we had a pretty good discussion about that. That's one of the styles I play. Another big one I play. Sometimes I'm not feeling passive. Sometimes I don't want to stand off. Sometimes I kind of want to rush. But as I'm sure a lot of you know, in Aftermath and the environment and how quickly guys can get back into the fight, it's really hard to do the full frontal assault while you're just playing solo. You always run into more guys than you can handle for the most part. So I usually flank, and obviously flank is a huge strategy in video games and war in general. And so I take on the role flanker. An outrider. I go far out and I come back around. But even within that quote-unquote role, I like to switch it up and do different things depending on what the defensive approach is and depending on what the situation is as far as my team. Have we armed the MCOM? Have we not armed the MCOM? Are we at a stalemate? Is the defenders really dug in? There's all kinds of different approaches I might take to just try and help my team as a solo guy try to get that victory. Now, it's not to say if I don't have any friends on, I don't play as a team. That's not true. I wanted to touch on that a little bit. You guys know you get in a squad, if they're all randoms, you can get a vibe. Now you don't necessarily need communications. You get a vibe from them. Are they working together? Are they trying to at least work as a squad, spawning on each other, reviving each other, that type of thing? Or is everybody just free for all doing what they want? So unfortunately we do get the free for all approach all too often. So there's really not much we can do about that. So these are some of the ways that I find that I can make myself the most effective player or most effective member of the team that I can. I tried to match up some of the gameplay to kind of fit, so I'm going to talk about some of it as I go, if I can kind of remember as I go. Here you'll see me, I believe, take it very far right, and that's, a lot of the time that's the way I like to go over here because there's so much space, and that is the way the map eventually turns. Why do I go so far right? Obviously, the big key to being flanking is going undetected, and then as long as you can remain undetected, then you're in the driver's seat. You're making decisions. A lot of times when I do a route like this too, I'll pull up the minimap. I'll expand it with the the M button. I don't know if it's even possible on consoles. I'm not even sure. I don't know what button it is. Because the most important thing to me there is information. I want to know where they are. I want to know where the big battle is. I want to know where their troops are coming from. Are they on top of the MCOM? Are they in transit from spawn to the MCOM? Because depending on where they are, it's going to make me switch up my style literally on the fly. Am I gotta cut my flank off and kind of slice across the map and basically take the cut-off approach, or I'm trying to cut off the reinforcements? And basically what I'm trying to do there is I'm trying to stick my nose in and get in between the MCOMs and the spawn. This way I can thin them out as best as I can. I can play that harassing role, a skirmisher so to speak, and just thin them out so they're not able to mount a coordinated effective counterattack on that MCOM. And hopefully I'm putting my faith in the rest of my team that, if I have a squad or two that are coordinated and stuff, they can then mount the frontal assault on a much weaker defense and get the job done. Now, obviously, on YouTube, we know the other role I like to take sometimes, and that's obviously the back rage. This one's a little hard. It's a fine balance because what you got to watch out for is don't look for it too hard. Alright, don't take up so much time that you're flanking forever looking for this epic back rage that you can put a montage clip with some dubstep and be a YouTube sensation, because a lot of times it doesn't work. Now this is a clip of a frontal assault by myself. I had probed the outsides, I had flanked a lot, I wasn't having that much success, so I was like, let me try it up the middle. You see here, look, I take out several enemies, but the place is crawling. There's just too many for me to handle. Now I probably should have backed off there, got a little bloodlust, got a little too hungry, too overzealous, and I went down. And that's kind of my point of why a frontal assault as a single player just doesn't work on these maps. And that's fine. I have no problem with that. It shouldn't work. Here's another one. I tried again. I tried from the other side. Again, I get several kills. Definitely could have done a better job. This time I do back off. So obviously, see, I learned. But again, I try to come up here and get behind them a little bit more. I should have cleaned that one out. There's just too many guys. For me myself, there's too much to handle. Now, better players, sure, can be more effective. But even there, let's say I clean that building out. right? I do an epic little 30-second go off. I arm the MCOM. I'm going to die to the next wave. I'm going to be out of ammo. I'm going to die to the next wave. And then they're just going to disarm. So I like to do this. You see me? I pause here. This is a flank far the other way now. I pause there. Let the tank go by. Now I'm trying to get a little bit of a back rage on. See, I got the MCOM. And I'm really not... I don't even necessarily care if I get kills here, to be quite honest with you. I mean, everybody wants kills. Don't get me wrong. I'm just trying to let them know I'm here. I'm trying to harass them. I'm trying to literally make them turn around and focus on me. Now, you got to be careful here, especially on this map, because I've turned my back on the spawn, and it's only a matter of time before they're going to come and get you and shoot you in the back. So you got to move. You always got to move. You'll see me later. Actually, not a bad idea in this role if you're going to take this on. Slap on a suppressor. It might hurt you a little bit in the distance there, like where I was shooting the guys in the back, but you know, it's all about remaining covert and stealthy. See, I find this guy just sitting there, but this is that right there. I mean, that guy would have been really hard to take out from the front. I got around, I got to the back, took him out, no problem. He is not going to kill any of my teammates approaching from that side. There you go. I took out a couple guys, finally got taken out. This is another one where I'm talking about. This is where I make that decision. I come around here usually, this map specifically now. To the right there, those walls is their spawn. Usually here, I either go in here and I look for a back rage. So we're still over there on those MCOMs, which is a little difficult. This was a bad move here. I just saw him die, and I put myself in harm's way myself. But sometimes what I'll do is I'll post up back there in that corner office, and I will literally just try and cut them off from their spawn. If, you know, I see a lot of guys respawning in. Like I said, trying to thin them out, trying to make sure they can't hit that defensive MCOM position in a group of 3 or 4 or 5 and overwhelm any of my teammates that might be trying to get the arm. I don't know what I'm doing there. Pretty much running around like a chicken with his head cut off. I do that from time to time. And here I am again. You know, I'm behind them. I was able to spawn on a teammate there. I'm not going for the MCOM. And now that's kind of a big thing for me. I've really tried to make an effort not to do that. I'm trying to kind of blend the two roles I've been talking about. Kind of flanking around, trying to get into a good position, and then providing the overwatch. Now, I mean, you can see this MCOM is pretty much destroyed. The defenders did a pretty good job of, you know, blowing it up so that they have good sight lines, and it makes it super tough. There I got overwhelmed. But again, I'm in there, I'm harassing. If they're over there and they're on me, they're not on the MCOM. They're not, you know, at the front line fighting my team. I'm hoping my team would then be able to move up and get the job done. Here you see me, I go with a totally different approach. I've just run into too many guys too often now. So I go switch, grab an LMG thinking, this way if I run into 4, 5, 6 guys, maybe I can take them out. You see I quickly switch back. But here I am. When I died the last time, I noticed that the guy shot me from above there. There's always guys up there, so always be aware of it. And this time, I'm trying to get in this room, just thin those guys off that roof, because it's going to be really hard to get this MCOM as long as they're holding that roof position. Because they've got a direct sight line. We saw that building is all blown out. And it's going to be really hard if someone's on there arming. They're just going to pick them off. So, you see me here. I'm just trying to thin it out again. That's a recurring theme, obviously, in this video. It's just thin them out. Thin them out. You're not going to be the superstar that gets the arms. You're not going to be the guy that gets the 4 or 5 kill streaks. What you're trying to do is just thin them out. And then you see me here. I'm just trying to keep the tickets up because we still haven't gotten the, you know, the MCOM to move on to the next station. And tickets are starting to get a little low at the 20 range. And this is a standard scoring server. God, they're hard to find right now. But I do love them. And here you see, I'm taking it slow. I'm going to work the left flank. Boom, they walk right into me. I'm ready for them. Now, unfortunately, look at the terrain, the landscape here. It is pretty desolate. There's not much cover, so I'm just kind of trying to hang out a little bit. I see a little soul flame over there get me distracted, and these two just run up on me. That right there is what I'm talking about. You have to be in a squad. And in the next video I think I'm going to do a gameplay of me operating in a squad and doing the frontal assault, going right up the middle, punching them in the face, taking their best shot, and working our way up there and trying to be the workhorse of the team. So there you go, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. That's me just talking about another role I like to play when I'm playing solo. The role of the flanker. It's a lot of fun. It really is. Nothing better than getting in, getting a good back rage on someone. Or even if, you know, you're sitting there and you're thinning them out as they're coming from spawn, and then you hear that MCOM arm go off, and you're able to hold the line until it blows up. It's great. It's rewarding. It is the path to a victory. Let me know what you think in the comments, guys. Likes are always appreciated, favorites, and sharing. And I will talk to you guys soon. Take care.